What if I told you that Fyodor Dostoevsky, yes, the man hailed as one of the greatest literary minds of all time, might just be overrated? Hold up, before you light your torches and storm the comments, hear me out. Gen Z has fallen into a Dostoevsky obsession, but the real question is, do we actually get him? Or are we just flexing? Okay, let's start with the obvious. Dostoevsky's novels, Crime and Punishment, The Brothers Karamazov, are iconic, no doubt. But here's the thing, his works are a psychological labyrinth. He drags you through the darkest corners of the human soul, asks you to sit with despair, guilt, and existential dread, and then leaves you to figure it all out on your own. Sounds heavy, right? Now imagine being a Gen Z reader, surrounded by TikToks, memes, and 280 character hot takes trying to make sense of a 700-page existential spiral. Crime and Punishment isn't exactly a beach read, is it? So we unravel the points whether he is overrated or not. Point 1 is the intensity problem. Let's be real. Dostoevsky's world is bleak as hell. It's not just about murder or redemption, it's about the crushing weight of morality, the suffocating grip of guilt, and the chaos of a universe that doesn't care. But here's the kicker, Gen Z is already drowning in this kind of existential chaos. Identity crisis, depression, anxiety, political breakdowns. Do we really need another reminder of how broken humanity is? Dostoevsky's themes hit too close to home, and for many of us, it's not an escape. It's a mirror we'd rather not look into. Point two is the language barrier. And then there is language. Have you tried reading Dostoevsky? It's like climbing a literary Everest. The sentences go on forever, philosophizing. The characters have five different names, and the metaphors are so deep you need a scuba license to even understand them. Gen Z isn't dumb. We're just built differently. We grew up in a snappy, straightforward stories that hit fast and hard. Dostoevsky's slow burn style, it's a whole different planet. Sure, it's profound, but is it accessible? Point 3 is the performative intellectualism. Here is the part no one likes to admit. Reading Dostoevsky has become a flex. Let's be honest, how many people do you know who casually name drop the brothers Karamazov but couldn't even tell you who Alyosha is? It's the literary equivalent of wearing vintage band tees. You want the clout, not the actual experience. Gen Z has turned Dostoevsky into an aesthetic, a vibe, a brand. But how many of us are actually engaging with his ideas instead of just posting moody highlights on Instagram? Point 4 is the relevance question. So, is Dostoevsky overrated? It depends on how you define relevance. His exploration of morality, faith, and human nature is timeless, but maybe that's the problem. For a generation constantly pushing boundaries and redefining the rules, Dostoevsky's worldview can feel outdated. His stories are rooted in 19th century Russia in a time when religion and redemption were central to existence. But for Gen Z, where the conversation revolves around mental health, social justice, and the future of technology, Dostoevsky doesn't always hit the same way. Here is the twist. Dostoevsky's relevance isn't about how relatable he is, it's about how he challenges us. He forces us to confront the ugliest parts of ourselves and the world around us. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what we need. So, is he overrated? For me, he is overrated, but for good. He needs to be overrated, even if it's just to inflict a questionable thought inside a mediocre single human mind. It deserves to be overrated. Sure, if you are expecting instant gratification or an easy read, stay away. But if you are ready to dive deep and wrestle with some uncomfortable truths, Dostoevsky might just blow your mind. The real question is, are you up for the challenge? Alright, your turn. Is Dostoevsky a literary genius or just too much for the modern world? Drop your hot takes in the comments below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Next week we are taking on Kafka, so stay tuned.